Let it speak to
you.
The planet is exploded.
The Galactic Federation is here with us. I don't believe there's like this rule of aliens on a spaceship and they're like controlling us and seeding our human missions.
I've been wondering if the starseed movement is a genuine connection to the stars or if it's just a way to cope with late-stage capitalism. I came into this research thinking that I'd just learn about different alien races and stardust, but the further down the hole I went, I realized how concerning this community really is. Today I'm taking you down the starseed rabbit hole because I had no idea it went this deep. I'll split this video into 4 segments, first being the history, and then the psychology, and then we'll do some video reactions, and then I'll give my overall personal reflection and opinion. So the term starseed was actually popularized in 1976 by Brad Steiger in his book Gods of Aquarius. He was one of the first to suggest that some of us aren't from planet Earth and are actually extraterrestrial souls incarnated as humans to help Earth level up or awaken. But before the term starseed, a man named George Adamski started the contactee movement in the 50s, and it peaked during the height of the Cold War when everyone was terrified of nuclear testing. People started claiming aliens were reaching out to save us from ourselves. According to this article, Beyond the Myth of Redemption, the Watergate scandal shattered belief in government as a force for good, and that distrust has shaped American society ever since. People lost trust in government and religion, so they turned to spirituality instead. And the starseed movement promised them something institutions couldn't, that they were chosen, special, and here for a cosmic purpose. If we look at the sociological perspective, it makes sense because in the 70s, after the Vietnam War and Watergate, people lost faith in government and the church. According to the study by Beth Davies, who is a member of the CTEC, wrote that as late-stage capitalism continues to tip more individuals into economic precarity and distance them from meaningful connection with one another, it is reasonable to expect more people to turn to theories that provide a validating explanation for personal difficulty and structural barriers to stability, as well as the apparent opportunity for transformational escape. Basically, when the world feels hopeless and you're struggling, your brain wants to believe in something that explains why you're struggling, so it's not your fault, and offers a solution so there's hope. The starseed belief says, you're special, you're here to help, you're meant for something greater. Now, social media algorithms are feeding this stuff to lonely people 24/7. It spreads faster than it ever has because back in the 70s, it was only by word of mouth or books. Capitalism created the conditions for these beliefs and is actively promoting them. Now, the skeptic in me needs to understand the psychology of why such beliefs are developed. Why can it feel personal when you read descriptions of starseeds? There's this thing called the Barnum effect. It's the same reason horoscopes or psychics feel so accurate because they use really vague, positive traits that almost anyone can relate to. You feel like you don't belong, you have a deep sense of empathy and intuition, you feel a strong connection with the stars. But who doesn't, right? It's all subjective validation. We want to believe we're special, so our brains fill in the gaps. There's another psychological trick which is used, which is confirmation bias. Once you believe you're a starseed, your brain starts interpreting everything as proof. A dream you had, a coincidence, a feeling. We find what we're looking for because that's just how our brains are wired. So I don't know if this is a coincidence, but in 1973, a famous astrophysicist, Carl Sagan, released his book, The Cosmic Connection, where he explained that we are quite literally made of stardust. He's like today's Neil deGrasse Tyson. And only 3 years later, 1976, Brad Steiger released his Gods of Aquarius book and popularized the starseed myth. So is it possible that Steiger took Carl Sagan's scientific reality, ran it through his confirmation bias filter, and turned it into a sci-fi belief about alien souls? Maybe? On a deeper level, according to this article, psychologists often look at the line between fantasy and fiction. In extreme cases, like the tragic story of Anne Hetch, who famously had an alter ego from a different planet, can cross into things like schizotypal or dissociative personality traits. It's a way to cope with trauma by creating a reality where the trauma can't reach you. Anne was even able to create her own language that she believed came from a source outside of her.
How did it manifest itself? What were your powers? What did you see in yourself?
Wow. So many different things. What could I do when I was Celestia, I spoke a different language. I spoke a different language that God and I spoke together. I could, you name it, I could do it. I could see into the future. I could heal people.
Can you still remember that language you spoke?
Of course.
Can you do any of it?
Sure. What would you like me to say?
I don't know anything.
Akines, akaforka tuna don. It is a good fortune, Ista Don, to be here.
And that's a language you never
I don't know where it came
learned
from.
and not even know what it means.
I was, in my mind, learning it from God.
I'm not saying that starseeds are a mental illness, but in extreme cases where trauma is present, the line between spiritual identity and dissociative coping can blur. And Anne Hetch was, in fact, diagnosed with dissociative personality disorder. Now, I want to show you some of these videos in real time. We'll apply the BITE model as we go. It's a tool used to identify cults by looking at how they control behavior, information, thoughts, and emotions. So keep that in mind as we watch these videos, because this community starts to look a lot less like love and light and more like high control when you see the signs. All right. I also wanted to show my notes. Look how satisfying this is. Okay. Anyways, we'll watch our first video, and these ones are all about people speaking light language.
But can you explain to people what that Anunnaki story is, and how does that mix in with starseeds?
It's a very interesting subject indeed, and I've had data. So when I talk about data, it means inner light wisdom within it.
So she said data means light wisdom. Is that what she said? It means in light wisdom. Okay.
Within it. Working with and through experience, I have an understanding of it. And it's from my own perspective. So I hold my truth within it. So it's not learnt information. So I don't know any information outside of the wisdom that I've ignited inside of myself. Okay.
Okay.
So
Does that make sense? I feel like that didn't really make sense to me. So she's getting knowledge outside of her, but it's not learned knowledge, but it's also her perspective.
Huh?
Anyways, so the information that came through was during the session that I was working with a particular. When I was connecting to her energy, we had a transference of inner wisdom igniting. So that seed within us started this inner light wisdom. And the wisdom within it was from the seed of the Anunnaki lineage within me. And the information that was coming through from a channel state through the experience, and it was a two-way conversation that I and this particular lady called Patricia was having. And the actual, I've actually still got the recording of that particular healing. So there's a point of reference that I can sort of go to from that perspective. But the information that was coming in was that basically it was a group of souls, so we can say souls which would be in a form, so an Anunnaki race, was coming in because there was a planetary galactic war that was moving through the cosmos. The Anunnaki had several layers of let me just.
Yeah. 1 minute. I'm just getting a bit of the demo. Oh.
So I'll bring forward some code, okay, if you don't mind, if that's okay,
Sure.
and I hope we won't put too many people. So there was a great galactic war that occurred within the star system that created a sense of like sort of what's the word? Like the planet is exploded, and you've got to find somewhere to go. So there was these people.
Refugees.
Yeah, refugee. Thank you. Thank you, Daniel. So my
Look at
words
his face.
can't come through so clearly when the codes come in. So there was refugees that come in, but you had different hierarchical Anunnaki. You had the people at the base here, okay, and then you had the apex of, just like we would have in this.
Okay. I'm not familiar with Anunnaki or whatever alien race this is, or galactic wars. I'm not familiar with that. But do you see her eyes here? I feel like it would just be way easier just to say I don't know to his question instead of having to bullshit and make up this language. And I don't know. I just feel like it would be easier to say I don't know. But I don't know. Looking at her eyes, there's definitely some absence there. Okay, let's go to the next one. I think we had enough of that one. Also, she calls herself Nicola Light, and this is like the light language, she said. I did watch like this whole episode, but I just wanted to show you the part where she's speaking light language. And I don't know, but to me, this just looks a little bit like Japanese. She's a galactic shaman, Reiki master, galactic shaman. What does that mean? Intuitive healer and soul to soul mentor. Trance and pure channeling my higher self in multidimensional aspects. I push through my ego mind into the remembrance of my light. Throughout the evolution of the understanding of my soul's purpose, I have maintained the drive to push through my understanding of self and my reality, always expanding into a greater refinement of my light. Let me assist and guide you. Quantum distance healing. What does that mean? During this healing session, you will receive codes of voice and sound to assist you in your healing journey. So does that mean that she's gonna like speak her language like in a voice recording to you and it's supposed to like heal you, maybe? Light language online course. Oh my god, should we take one? This is kind of funny. Oh, here it is. See this? Retreats. I think when any guru or coach, whatever, has a retreat, I feel like that's almost always a sign of a cult. I wonder how much it is. Oh, it doesn't even tell you how much. Okay, anyways, enough of that. I just feel like that's a lot of bull. Her logo is kind of cool though. It's giving like Star Trek. I kind of like that. Okay, anyways, on to the next.
Do you have memories, dreams, or visions of other worlds or lifetimes? Are you highly empathetic or sensitive to energy? Do you feel a deep sense of not belonging on Earth? Well, Occam's razor, the simplest explanation is usually the correct one.
Yeah.
And so it's likely that you are a soul that originated from another planet on a mission to help humanity.
Aliens. Takot at aming alat at amak activated blueprint.
Her teeth are so white.
Beautiful.
We have support from the Syrian High Council, the Blue Aliens are Syrians.
She looks scary. She looks like she's like really struggling to get this language out of her.
That was Syrian, now Acturian.
Syrian. It's got a bit more of an Arabic vibe.
Yeah, I know. That one's
Feels
kind
like
of
the
offensive.
Pleiadian.
That's wild. How do they remember all of these? Whoa.
Channeled message from the Council of Light, the Council of Creation.
Council of
As
Light.
light continues to dissolve all illusions, all true forms will be revealed. Within the leaders and all
Scared.
Council.
bodies, with
There's
leaders
a lot of
of
that, isn't there?
entertainment industry,
Yeah.
within the leaders of social media. You will see
Okay, to be fair, he does look like an alien. I can see it.
those shifting their form within the public eye.
That's
You
awesome.
will see reptilians and all star seeds beginning to reveal
Reptilians.
themselves as light continues to permeate this reality. Nothing will be safe hidden anymore as everything continues to be exposed.
Wait a minute, do you see how many likes this guy has? Wow.
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 Thank you so much for that.
He's got a
On to the next. Okay, this one I'm kind of excited to go into.
This reality, it would seem insane to me.
You believe you're
Wow.
an alien?
Definitely. I can open up a portal, speak your own version of light language as well.
Terasa kalau po ompota sakita shahasi kiamba. Boro sukupu alakwantiki ash osukupoa.
In the spiritual world, there are people who claim that they
Doesn't that sound like The Sims? It sounds like Sims language to me.
can connect with different extraterrestrial beings, speak light language. They actually feel that they've come to Earth from another part of the galaxy. Maybe my bullshit meters will detect if it's completely a scam. But if anyone would be able to do this, it would be her. Let's get out.
Okay, she has a bullshit meter.
Can I tell you something? I've been wanting to meet you for like 2 years.
I've been
feeling you like you've been coming through the realms recently.
What does that mean, coming through the realms?
Like you've been appearing in different realities, your name. This, that, ideas, yes, okay. Yeah, I feel her.
What are we doing?
So I grew up around a lot of narcissists, and why do they all talk like that. From this girl's video, Florio, she actually goes way more in depth in, especially in like the history and how it was rooted in white supremacy. So definitely recommend watching her video too. But I noticed like all narcissists talk like this and they love bomb you, and it's really weird to me. But anyways,
We're just gonna allow for whatever is to flow through.
it's cute.
Where I live, we call it the portal.
Really? There's a resonant vibe.
There's lots of synchronicities happening.
Yeah, I don't believe anything she's saying, honestly. My bullshit meter is up there.
I'm gonna take you on a little journey of sound.
Her cat is so cute though.
Shwasia lahakwam pasatada ashiria. Dwarasiki ashasala fwa kapi as asham. Indiki ashasafua. Tu asiki alakwap asatash. Eki halakwamba as. Dwasir eshikia.
Are you ready for this to come off? You don't have to open your eyes yet though.
Reminds me of like when the Sims are flirting. They talk like that.
I felt Dinasiki enanashia. Dwashasa. Dish. Cool. Kanaswana.
I just, oh yeah.
It went south.
It went
Let it speak. Let it speak through you. Ashwa ha ge Wampasi.
Why is she crying though? Why is she crying? Look at her face. Look at her face. That's scary.
Yeah, sick, yeah. Wanna see, PVC,
Keeps going. What the fuck? Now they're dancing. That was me and my sister when we tweak out. When we used to share a room, we would just tweak out like this. Okay, that was something. That was interesting. And she made another one. That was too much for me, honestly. Let's see what this one is.
The way I see you is like an alien being on Earth. The messages that are encoded within my DNA
I think I can do that.
communicate, can emit through light language. It's we all chose this lifetime and chose to come back to Earth at this specific time for a reason, because this is happening now. Even
All right. These people are deep in their psychosis. Wait,
where we'll start
does
to
she
maybe
take
just, like,
shrooms or
move
something?
your hands,
What is
move your-
this?
Actually, where it was used to open the pineal gland and third eye, way back when in ancient Egyptian times.
This will make you have lucid dreams, potentially. It's known to activate the pineal gland, whatever you want to call it, which is the part of the brain that lights up when people are having mystical experiences.
Right. When you actually release DMT from your third eye in certain experiences like life and death, and also spiritual experiences too.
Right. So the pineal gland is essentially the scientific name for the third eye.
Yes.
Let's open the third eye.
So from what I've heard before, I need to do my further research, but I'm pretty sure we only release DMT when we die. But I know all living beings have DMT. I don't think it's like released if you have these mystical experiences, like speaking light language. That's probably what she's inferring. I'm pretty sure it does not work that way. But let's move on.
That was so strong. What I got was it's time to remember who we are and to root and to ground into the knowing of who we are and who we came here to be.
Yes. You even said the word. I can cry, actually. You even said the word knowing. It's a knowing. Ground into the knowing.
Is she like translating her language and they're just feeding each other's delusions? That's what it seems like. Course. Yeah, and courses too. If someone's selling a course, especially on fucking manifestation, bro, like that's bullshit. 130 for her light language activation course. Interesting. All of these are on sale. I wonder, she must not be getting enough clientele right now. 3-month container plus a retreat. Oh, yep. See, she does have retreats too. Okay, that's enough light language for now. Okay, let's go. So the first thing that I searched when I looked up starseeds was Starseeds Explained on YouTube, and this was the first video to pop up.
Evolutionary pathways are actually intertwined and interconnected inextricably with the human race. And so because of
Yeah, I don't buy into that.
Starseeds this, starseeds that. What does it even mean? I don't know about you, but I always had this feeling that I was not from this planet. It's very unrealistic for you to act on that information. You know, it's something that's just lingering in the background. But in 2020, this is when my galactic awakening started.
Okay, 2020 was a traumatic time for everyone online or offline. And I just feel like that's, maybe her galactic awakening is she's just coping with her trauma in this way.
Started to happen and beings started to really contact me. Many other starseeds had this activation in 2020 as well. So when all of this started happening, I go, of course, it makes sense, but it was also surreal. This is really important. I'm hearing, okay, I feel the Galactic Federation here with us. We have something called the Starseed Program. And
the Galactic Federation is here with us. Okay, honestly, I've had enough of this too. So signs of being a starseed and how to activate your mission, whatever the hell that means. Also, every time I hear Galactic Federation, I just think of like, isn't that a Star Trek thing? Galactic Federation. I don't know. I don't believe there's like this role of aliens on a spaceship and they're like controlling us and seeding our human missions. I don't, yeah, no, that's too much. Now, I want to go over some people who made videos who actually have some common sense. So, let's go to this girl. I made a note, 920.
Oh, no.
And she goes over this girl who says she's a cult leader. Like, I think cult is in her name. She's really good at articulating, so I'll just let her.
You convince yourself of all these things. I don't know. I just find it alarming.
When I was younger, I was on all kinds of medications. And sometimes I would quit for a day or two, or a week even, just to see if I could. It's always a terrible idea. You end up out of your head. And every time I did this, I would think, wow, I guess I really need this medicine. What I didn't realize is that I was just addicted and I was going through withdrawal symptoms.
This is one of the ones that I find probably the most damaging. I'm not the type of person that takes medication lightly. So when I say that, I mean that I think medication is important to take when you have mental illness problems like myself. I'm not on it anymore, but I consulted a doctor. It's a whole thing. But anyway, I think that if you're prescribed medication by a doctor, you should look into it and you should take it seriously in the sense of don't pop any pill a doctor gives you because some of them don't have your best interest at heart, sadly. But also don't disregard everything a doctor says. Like again, moderation is key. So if you are going to go off of medication, you should talk to a doctor about that. And if you're going to take medication, you should also talk to your doctor about that. So this concept of her saying that she got off of medication and very slowly tapered it off, Thankfully, nothing terrible happened, but your body, if it is used to having medication, of course, it's going to react when the medication is no longer there. That's the point of the medication, that it makes a difference in your brain in terms of, if we're talking about mental illness medication. She says in the video, oh yeah, well, I'm not telling you to do this, but it's also like, you just gave someone a fucking to-do of how to do this, of how you did it. And also mixing that with spirituality, because the implication here, because of the cult, is that everything is tied to spirituality, right? Let's say you have a cult leader, everything they do is going to automatically be connected to their cult. And what is their cult? Their spiritual beliefs, right? So her saying, oh, I stopped taking my medication, the implication, in my opinion, and you can tell me if you disagree, the implication is that there was like a kind of spiritual awakening. She was addicted to the medication, which very well could be true, but it's also like, if you're prescribed a medication that's not, fucking Vicodin or something, if you're prescribed like Prozac, for example, it's normal that when you stop taking it, you'll feel an effect. That's the whole point. It's supposed to help you with, for me at least, it was with my depressive symptoms. So when I refer to this as a cult, it's not just me saying that to make it look bad. She actually herself refers to the cult as a cult, and it's called Unicult. So I mean, it's definitely not like a club, it's a cult, it's in the name. And I asked you guys on Twitter whether you thought cults could be positive. The majority of you guys agreed with me. Well, I didn't put it on Twitter, but the majority of you guys have shared my opinion, where the definition of cult automatically is grim. So it's not really possible for the cult to be positive, mainly because cults rely on the followers to pretty much do and believe whatever the leader says, and that doesn't really leave room for critical thinking. And if you can't
I agree 100%, like zero critical thinking. I found this one from Florio's
One of
video.
the reasons I'm able to critique
And I liked what she had to say. Hello?
religion and spirituality and New Age spirituality.
Oh my god. My bad.
One of the reasons I'm able to critique religion and spirituality and New Age spirituality across the board is that once you deeply understand one of those systems and how it taps into human psychology, then you can see it in all of the systems. I've been engaging with this starseed in the comments, and her arguments, line for line, are exactly what you would do if you were a Christian apologist. So her first argument was that I am not open-minded enough for the aliens to come and visit me, which is the exact same argument that you get from a Christian apologist, saying that your heart is too hardened, therefore God can't talk to you. Then she moves to other people, tons of people are having these kinds of experiences all the time, which is the same move that a Christian would make in saying this is the biggest religion. People are having spiritual experiences with God all the time. People are having miracles. God is speaking to them. People are seeing Jesus. It's happening all the time. Then when I call out the hubris that she's considering herself very special, that she has a divine mission, that's very common with other forms of religion, that how can she believe that her experience and her divine mission is real when everybody else's and everybody else's religion then wouldn't be real? Which is the exact same thing that I would say to a Christian. How could you have the hubris to believe that we've been humans in this form worshiping gods for at least tens of thousands of years, if not hundreds of thousands of years, but your God and your experiences are correct and everybody else is wrong and going to hell, right? And then what would a Christian say? I'm praying for you, this condescending, like I'm praying for you. And someday when Jesus comes again, I'll remind you of this so that I can tell you, I told you so. How often do I get, look at any video I ever do on Christianity, at least half of the comments will be something like, I can't wait till I can tell you, I told you so. Which is how she's deciding also to end this conversation. If I've said it once, I've said it 1,000 times, it's not enough to just leave religion. We're not actually unpacking the roots of religion, which is why new religious behavior is popping up everywhere. In political religion and New Age spirituality, it always goes down to our desire for identity and to feel special, to feel like we have meaning and purpose, some kind of divine mission, that we're somehow better than everyone else, it's the hubris of my experiences are real and everybody else is kind of confused. And that just, if you don't unpack that part of it, it's just going to show up in New Age spirituality and political religions, whatever. So I'm not arguing that you haven't had your experiences. I think everybody's spiritual experiences are real. I just want to take a step back and try to make sense of all the spiritual experiences on the table and try to make sense of that. For me, that approach has given me a lot of wholeness rather than getting wrapped into this behavior where I get to say someday I told you so kind of stuff, which to me is just icky behavior.
Yes, so good. I want to end on a happy note, all right? On a funny note, so.
Hello, Earthlings. I have come to galactivate your world. Have you ever been scrolling on TikTok or Instagram and seen something like this?
It's hard being an alien, being a human.
No? Well, okay. Oh, shit. Can
I
you
have
pretend
seen that
you
video.
have? Because I don't want to look crazy. Remember the mission they came for. I don't know what mission they came for, but it is kind of lucky that after 5 billion years of being on this Earth, they're finally waking up now that we have Instagram and smartphones. Also,
Yes, that's exactly it. Okay, I don't want to show the whole video. You guys can watch it if you want to finish these videos, but yeah, I just wanted to go over them with you. Isn't that fucking crazy?
So I've actually heard of the term starseeds and indigo crystal children for a very long time. My biological father, he's openly a conspiracy theorist, so he pushed the idea that I'm his crystal child, which means that he's an indigo, which means that we're special and that we're supposed to follow this path of spirituality. But my birth father has never really been present in me and my sister's lives, so I kind of took everything he said as a grain of salt, and I think I'm naturally a skeptic anyway. Surface level, the idea of starseeds did intrigue me because when I was young, I was in such a place of feeling so lost, and so having this idea that, oh, these extraterrestrials are you know, I got like this sense of belonging, which that's what intrigued me, but I never went further digging than that. And I just kind of brushed off whatever he said. I was like, okay, cool, I'm a crystal starseed, cool. But then after that, I kind of just went into my own digging onto other things like philosophy and other religions and numerology, astrology. I like studying all of those things. I grew up with two extreme paths. For example, so like I said, my birth father is openly a conspiracy theorist. So he was very like anti-church, anti-government kind of thing. And then my mom's side is very religious, Catholic, and my other grandma is Christian. So I kind of grew up in the church because my father was absent. So I saw both sides. The church that I grew up in, they did speak in tongue. And that always kind of freaked me out. So I'm not anti-church. That's just not my thing. Whatever makes you happy, that's just not my thing. So I like to study other religions and philosophies, but I don't have just one faith. I like to consider myself an omnis, kind of just pick and choose which philosophy I like, and I have my own personal spiritual practices. After I grew up a little bit, my dad would send me all of these videos and say all these claims and like send videos of these out there claims, but like there was no evidence or proof of these said claims. Like they didn't provide any. It was just, I don't know, it just seemed kind of stupid to me. So I kind of cut my contact with him less and less because he was becoming like too extremist with me, like the more open he got with me. And at this point, I've already developed my own sense of belonging. I've developed my own sense of identity, I guess, and I didn't need to not rely on him, but he did like to tell me a lot of things about myself. But it's just kind of like you're not here, like you're not really in my life. I want to choose that for myself. Does that make sense? But yeah, so I wanted to make this video because I truly had no idea that the starseed movement went this deep, and it is very, very culty. I think it's really important to recognize cult systems and beliefs because from the outside they could seem really harmless, and they prey on these people who have no sense of belonging and who are lost, who have been through trauma. So it's good to have critical thinking and to apply that to, rather than just blindly believing in things because they make you feel special. Like, I don't believe that I am more special than anybody. That's just ridiculous. And I'm not saying that I reject spirituality entirely. Like I said, I have my own beliefs and my personal path, and I still love learning about these topics of astrology and other philosophies, but I need the evidence. I like to look for the evidence first. So yeah, all this to say that I think we can have spiritual experiences without having to believe that we're superior aliens, put here on Earth for a greater purpose, and that we are more special than someone who is not an alien. So all this to say, I think we can have spiritual experiences and believe in meaning without having to believe that we're superior alien races put here on Earth for a greater purpose. But is this starseed community using their spiritual beliefs to justify high control tactics? If you liked hanging out with me, like this video, subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. Bye!